So you know that feeling that you get when you finally beat your older sibling at a video game after years of getting your ass beat?
Finally!
This gave me that feeling. I've been listening to a lot of new R&B albums that's been coming out within the past couple weeks or so, and they've been putting me in a trance. They've all had this same drum pattern, the same flow that I've been trying to recreate. And after weeks and months of trying to figure it out, I finally got it.
Hot damn!
So let's get right to it. So after listening to Sabrina Claudio's Based on the Feeling, I finally figured out how to change the time signature and make a very bouncy drum pattern. And for the life of me, this has been giving me grief for the longest. So FL Studio is automatically set to a 4/4 time signature by default. So to change that to a 6/8, what you're gonna do is you're gonna come up to options, go to MIDI settings, go all the way over to projects, and click on the denominator, and the denominator drop down arrow till you get to the 6/8 time signature. They have more in there, but you just gotta play around with it, figure out which one you want to go with. So immediately, once I figured that out, the first thing I did was something that I never do, but I've been doing it lately. I started with the drums. So I started with the drums just so I can create a nice bounce. Once I figured that out, I just went ahead and made a melody. It all kind of came very quickly. I pulled out Flex, the goated stock FL plugin, went to Essential Guitars, and went to this Brighter Humbucker AC15, whatever the fuck that means. I turned down some of the knobs a little bit just so the reverb wouldn't be too crazy and the delay wouldn't be too crazy. And I came up with this simple guitar melody. So I made this super simple chord progression, nothing crazy, a very basic C minor 9th chords on these two right here. I shortened them up so they wouldn't play for a full bar, and then I strummed them for a realistic effect. Then I came over here and I just pitched it up 5. Same thing, turned into an F minor 9th chord, and then for this last chord I turned it into a diminished chord. For the effects, I put on an EQ where I rolled out a lot of the low end so it wouldn't interfere with anything else. Turned up the reverb just a bit. Added on the vintage chords. Lately I've been using vintage chords a lot. It just makes it sound a whole hell of a lot better than if you leave it dry. Add effect rack to the crystal choir, and then I turned down the output knob just so it wouldn't be ringing too loudly. And then I had to add on retro color just to add the vinyl crackle. I just love it so much. Here's what it sounds like without the effects. On second thought, this still sounds pretty good. Now with the effects. With the effects, it just made it way more ambient and vibey. The next thing I did was I went to Addictive Keys, pulled out an electric piano, and just played the same chords over the initial guitar melody. Together they sound like this. To me, it adds that little sparkle to the rest of the melody. Next thing I did was I added some guitar notes, just kind of go over top of everything else. And after that, I added the bass. All I did to the bass was what I typically always do, was add an EQ where I roll out all the high end and add on destructor just to give it some distortion so it would sound wider and give it more body.
Body, yaddy, 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 yaddy.
And that's it for this beat, y'all. This beat was really simple for me once I figured out that drum pattern and how to change the time signature. Everything just flowed right after that, so I'm very happy with this beat. So please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think of this bad boy. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It will help me. We're almost at 500 subscribers. Actually, we're almost at 200 subscribers with 194 last time I checked. But definitely trying to get to 500 before the year ends. And with your guys' help, I can do that. If you got anything from me, please let me know. If not anything else, I'm out. Peace.